New rule at next Thursday's debate, one of the candidates has to say, the problem with our healthcare system is Americans eat shit and too much of it.
Bill Maher makes a new rule about fat acceptance.
You gotta be so good that they can't ignore you, especially the ones that ain't done shit for you. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. They stab you in the back and then they ask why you're bleeding. I don't trust words, I trust actions. I don't care what you heard, I'm not slacking.
My name is Alan Roberts. This is Everyday Fitness. Like, subscribe, click the notification button right over there. Share my videos, subscribe to my second channel, Alan Roberts. In my opinion, of course, it's linked above, below, and at the end. And that is where you can also find a joking video I did about Alan Roberts 2020, as if I was going to run for president under the Common Sense Party, because this obviously is about a video about Bill Maher and his stance on fat acceptance. And I don't want to make it into a big political thing because I'm not really a big political guy. I don't subscribe to any political party. I believe in common sense. I believe that, you know, really the way things should work is taking some from between. You don't need to be so polarizing about everything. You apply common sense and logic to shit. I don't believe we do that very much, including Mr. Maher sometimes. However, I do want to talk about his new rule from last night, his skit about fat acceptance, of which it looks like his writers used a lot of my fucking videos without giving me credit. Thanks, bitches. No, just kidding. There is some stuff that I do disagree with about what he said, and I agree with, and I'd like to give my thoughts on it. So here we go.
Why do people have so many pre-existing conditions? Being fat isn't a birth defect. Nobody comes out of the womb needing to buy 2 seats on the airplane.
Mr. Maher is talking about this because all the political candidates are talking about how they're going to have health care for this person, health care for that person. Because in America, we spend much more on health care per capita than even the closest other nation. And the reason being for that is, one, we charge too much money for our health care. We have sick care. We don't actually have health care. We take care of people after they're sick. There's no focus on prevention at all, because we are not a preventative people. We are a chronically ill society of people who consume large amounts of calories and get ourselves into obese states that then develop chronic illnesses, and then when taken care of by our healthcare system, when you are chronically ill, you are going to use more healthcare. You are going to have more conditions. You are going to need more medications. You're going to need more procedures. You're going to miss more time from work. This is just true. And being obese, factually, sorry if this hurts some people's feelings, but factually, being obese does make you fucking sick. It just does. It causes more problems for your knees, your back, everything like that. So it causes more actual structural issues with your body, more problems like that. But it also causes more things like insulin resistance, cancers, everything like that, which he's going to go over later. But right now, none of the candidates, this is how you know politics is fucked up, in my opinion. And I hate getting political, like I said, you can check out that other video. But they don't actually have the people's interest in heart, because truly, if we had politicians that were worried about the actual health and well-being of the people of this country, we would be addressing the fact that almost 3/4 of the country is overweight and almost 40% of the country is obese, which is a medical term. It is not a slanderous term. Obese is a medical term for a state of malhealth, for a state of illness.
Poor diet is the leading cause of mortality in the United States.
So Mr. Maher uses a New York Times opinion piece, which I was like, New York Times opinion piece? Are you fucking kidding me? Really? What the fuck? But he used a New York Times opinion piece to state that the leading killer in America is dietary factors. And if you look at the article, he gets that information from an original investigation article on the JAMA Network from April 10th of 2018. It's called The State of U.S. Health, 1990 to 2016, Burden of Disease, Injuries, and Risk Factors Among U.S. States. And if you actually take a look at this chart, dietary risks is absolutely number 1, followed closely by tobacco use. Then third is high systolic blood pressure, which also can be caused by dietary and high body mass index. Fourth is high body mass index. Now, the reason why body mass index falls so far down the list, number 4, by the way, from just dietary risk factors, is because some people can undereat and kill themselves, some people can overeat and kill themselves, and some people can just eat like total fucking garbage at a healthier weight and still fucking kill themselves, because very frankly, your weight is only a symptom of your energy balance, your energy expenditure. If you if you burn less calories than you take in on a consistent basis, your body mass index is going to go up. And for those of you that are about to bitch about body mass index, unless you are some sort of mega athlete or you are a pregnant woman or there are very few other cases where people have some sort of other reason to have a skewed body mass index. For the most part, if you are just sitting there bitching at the screen at the angry bald man, saying that I don't get it because body mass is bullshit, and you haven't worked out in like 2 years and you barely walk in the grocery store and everything like that, body mass index means you. Just to be real, if you are one of those people that says, well, body mass index is bullshit, you don't just have fucking big bones if you're 400 pounds, period. You're just overweight. You are just obese. Accept it. If you are not some sort of serious, person with a lot of serious, muscle mass on you, body mass index, if it's high for you, if you're above 35 and you're not some sort of athlete and you don't have a huge amount of muscle on you, it means you. All the statistics that are taken from this, they don't care. They just take the statistic of body mass index, and the statistics show that people with high body mass index die, at an earlier age and more painful and shit like that than other people. That doesn't give a fuck. The statistic is based off the number. The statistic is just a fact. It is just numbers and correlation. That is all. It cannot be fucked with. It doesn't have emotion. It is not biased against you. It is not shaming you. It is not stigma. It is numbers. It is math. It is just the way the universe works.
Everyone knows obesity is linked to terrible conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and virginity. Not to mention cancer. But that's just the beginning of it.
While he throws a joke in there, these are things I talk about a lot. They very much are. And again, to the writers of Bill Maher, a little subcredit. What the fuck? Would it killed you? For real. But these are things that I talk about often. These are just facts. There is direct correlation to these things, people. I'm hopeful that the message that was supposed to be delivered with how I believe he wanted this worded, I hope it gets across to people. I'm glad it took a large platform, because in reality I know it's got a bunch of people pissed off, but there needs to be a counterbalance, because people are only getting sicker. The numbers on the number of obese people is only getting worse, and I must tell you, I want you to love yourself. If you're an obese person, I want you to love yourself. I want you to love yourself not to be risking getting cancer at a higher prevalence. I want you to love yourself not to be getting heart disease at a higher prevalence. Things like that. I want you to love yourself enough that you don't give a shit what dumbass people who would say negative things about how you look would say. I want you to love yourself enough to not let words from dumbass motherfuckers affect your future. That's what I want. I don't want you to accept obesity.
There is literally nothing being overweight does not make worse. Eyesight, memory, pain, fatigue, depression. You don't poop right. It weakens your immune system.
Again, all things I've talked about many, many times before. It is such a negative impact on your life. I have yet to meet a morbidly obese person that has told me that they are leading their best life, that they feel that they have led their best life, that they're happy that they turned out morbidly obese. I have yet to meet that motherfucker, the one that I can believe that tells me that. I have yet to believe it. I've had a few people try to tell me that, and they're clearly lying. And you know how I know they're clearly lying? Eventually they have to get up out of the chair from telling it to me after we sat down. That's how I know, because I can watch the pain on their face. I know this because I was once fat myself. I can tell you, you're not leading your best fucking life. And you can lie to yourself all you want. You absolutely can. You can continue to lie. That is your right to do so. But we have every right to completely have our common sense turned on and not fucking believe you.
We look at fried chicken and think, that's a good start. Now put it on a bun and add bacon and cheese and something no one even thought to put on it.
And then market that shit with like a 32-ounce soda that has another 200 grams of sugar in it. And then also, by the way, have a supersized large fry, because that's going to help out. And why not a Frosty at the end? Why not some ice cream or whatever right at the end? And oh yeah, after all that shit, let's market that shit to kids, because that's what actually fucking happens.
Europe doesn't look like this because Europe's not always eating for two. We weren't always like this. Watching the footage of the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11, I was struck by how not fat everyone in the crowd was.
I have a couple points about this because, again, I talk about this shit all the time, Bill Maher's writers. But first of all, in Europe, if you've ever been, their portion sizes are like half of what ours are. The 2,000 calorie diet, the 2,000 calorie, based on, when you see that on like the label, based on 2,000 calorie dietary intake, that's because most of the world survives on 2,000 calories. It just is. Like, the reality of the situation is we overconsume to a great fucking degree in our country, and in Britain also too, and a few other countries. We overconsume. It's like the atypical first world problems shit. It really is. It's unbelievable. It's first world problems. It's such ridiculous shit that we're killing ourselves by overconsumption. We are gluttoning ourselves to death as a society. We truly are. We are gluttoning ourselves to death as a society. And my other point by this, to those of you motherfuckers that are now saying that being overweight is 70% genetic and all like that, did our genes change in the last 30 or 40 fucking years? Because 30 or 40 years ago, most people weren't obese. Most people weren't overweight. So are you trying to say our genes changed? If so, please do fucking cite the fucking study below that shows how our genes have changed to the point where all of a sudden everybody's obese when we weren't before. You people sound fucking stupid.
Can fat be beautiful? That's in the eye of the beholder. But healthy? No. That's science.
Facts over fiction. Life over looks. Those are my fucking hashtag, Bill Maher writers. Those are my fucking hashtags. What the fuck?
I know this is a controversial thing to say now in today's America, but being fat is a bad thing.
Oh shit, Bill Maher's about to get a visit from the healthy at every size people. The healthy at every size people are like the flat earthers of the fat acceptance community. They're like the fucking ones that are they just totally fucking deny science. It's so fucking weird. And I've heard people say, well, you have the definition of healthy every size wrong. Healthy at every size truly means that you should have healthy endeavors no matter what size you are. Listen, motherfuckers, I understand that that's the way you may have meant it. That's the way it may have even started, really, very, very honestly. I'm not exactly fucking sure. I'm telling you how it is propagated right now. I'm telling you how it is put out to people right now. It is put out to people right now, you can be healthy at every size. It's put out to people that you can't tell if somebody's healthy if they're 500 pounds. Like, you don't have eyes and logic and understand that the person that can barely fucking walk isn't healthy.
We shouldn't taunt people about it. And overeating shouldn't be singled out as the only vice. It's not. We all have something. But there's no smoking acceptance or drunk acceptance.
Literally taking my whole fucking shtick, Bill Maher writers. Literally, my whole fucking shtick.
When did it become taboo in this country to talk about getting healthy?
The very fucking second we decided that we want to not hurt somebody's feelings and lie to them about being obese, we'd rather have them be happy and die young by telling them that they can be perfectly fine at 350 pounds and you do you and don't listen to anybody and eat that piece of cake, and your food cues are telling you to have that cake. That means your body needs it even when you're 350, 400 fucking pounds. The very second we decided that we would rather watch people die by telling them a lie as long as they were happy while they were alive, instead of telling them the truth and watching them live and might possibly hurting their feelings, that's the fucking second it became. That's the fucking exact second right there, Bill.
Hey, liberals, you know how you hate it when conservatives won't even let the CDC study gun violence as a public health issue? This is that.
One more time, I don't want to make it political. If you want my stances on some shit, you can go watch my video on my other channel. I'll link the button below at the end. Thank you very much. But what is the problem with knowledge? Why are we so afraid of fucking knowledge? About anything. What are the negative things that could happen by us actually studying ourselves? Our behaviors, what kills us, what keeps us alive? What problem is there in actually understanding shit? Why do we need to not know some things? That's unfucking. Why do we want to ignore facts? Why do we not want to know why 70% of the population is overweight? Why do we not want to know why type 2 diabetes is just skyrocketing? Why do we not want to know these things? Why do we not want to know what is killing us?
We have gone to this weird place where fat is good. It's pointing out that fat is unhealthy. That's what's bad.
That's the whole fat stigma type thing. That's, your doctor shouldn't ask you to go on a scale because you should advocate for yourself at your doctor. And you can't even mention if a person's overweight. Like, people are trying to put a little asterisk for the E in obesity and shit like that. The stupid shit like that. What is the problem with living in the real world? Where is the issue with us talking to each other like we're actually fucking adults? Where's the problem with us saying, look, you're sick, let's get you healthy? Where's the problem with that shit? Where's the problem with me saying, I don't want these people to pick on you, they're all fucking assholes, fuck all that shit, let's close that shit out. Let's fucking put that shit in a box and tell those motherfuckers get the fuck away, don't even listen to that shit. But now, let's talk about you being 300 pounds and not possibly living past the age of 50. Let's talk about you not living to see your fucking grandchildren. What's the problem with that? Why can't we talk about it?
Fat shame? No, we fit shame. Really, you hear it all the time. Someone sees a merely trim person, you should eat something.
Absolutely admit this to yourselves. Look at yourselves and admit this, that if you work in a public environment, like you work with other people, you don't work from home, or you don't work in an isolated thing. If you work with other people, the person that gets made fun of at lunch is not the person that eats 5 donuts or eats a foot-long sub or eats like Chinese for the 25th time from takeout or eats some super fucking eats like 6 slices of pizza. That person, not a fucking problem. But the person that brings chicken, broccoli, and rice in, you make fun of that motherfucker every day.
In August, 53 Americans died from mass shootings.
And those were all horribly evil, unexpected events that took the lives of innocent people, and my deepest and heartfelt condolences go out to their family and friends.
Terrible, right? You know how many died from obesity? 40,000.
And those are horrible, likely agonizing, expected events, predictable events that people did to themselves. And my deepest and most heartfelt condolences go out to their family and friends. I wish I could have done more.
Fat shaming doesn't need to end, it needs to make a comeback. Some amount of shame is good. We shamed people out of smoking and into wearing seatbelts. We shamed them out of littering, and most of them out of racism. Shame is the first step in reform. It's what goads people into saying, maybe I can do better, as opposed to, I'm always perfect the way I am, how dare you. We need to start aiming higher as a country. This is a good place to start.
Now here's where I disagree with the word usage of Mr. Maher and his writers. If you mean shaming as in somebody calling somebody a horrible name with the intent of hurting their feelings to get amusement out of it by picking out something that they feel that the person is going to be insecure about their physical appearance, you're just a fuckhead who literally is very short on IQ, probably other fucking things, and you need to fucking check yourself, because chances are when you need to make yourself feel better by picking on somebody that you think you're superior to them in some fucking way, you're just a fucking asshole. However, for people that mean shaming as in, can I help you lose weight? That's not shaming. You know you're unhealthy, you should try to do better. That is encouragement. That is not shaming. You know that you could develop cancer because you're morbidly obese at a much more prevalent rate. That is factual statement and trying to inform a person. That is not shaming. Saying that you need to lose weight because you should be there for your fucking children is not shaming. It is them trying to help you be a good fucking parent. Telling somebody that you need to lose weight because you should love yourself enough to is encouraging them to be body positive enough to save their own fucking life. That's the fucking issue. The issue is that the word shaming has gotten to be, fat shaming has gotten to be a statement for any way and anything that is anything but fat positive. And that's fucking wrong, because there is nothing positive about being morbidly obese. There's nothing positive about being morbidly obese. Again, you can be beautiful, you can be intelligent, you can be funny, you can be handsome, you can be, you can be successful, you can be anything you fucking want and be morbidly obese. You cannot fucking be healthy. That's the thing you can't fucking have. As long as there's gravity and you're fucking crushing your load-bearing joints, you cannot be fucking healthy. That's the fucking issue.
We can all keep pretending that healthcare is